Hey everyone, my name is Random Attributes, and we're looking at something new today. Well, something old, but something new. This is a full playthrough of the Gabriel Knight series, produced by Sierra, from 1993 to 1999. I'm just going to hit intro here so that the intro starts because it's fairly long. Creepy. That's 3D rendering in 1993 though. Dang. So, someone's having a dream, he saw himself hung, and he saw a whole bunch of other freaky stuff. Interesting. This is produced by Jane Jensen, who was responsible for Police Quest 3 and King's Quest 6. My history on the series is as follows. I've definitely played and completed the first game, but I got stuck very early, and I had to complete the rest of the game with the help of a walkthrough. I do remember one or two of the puzzles, one of them being in a graveyard, writing something on the side of a gravestone, and something else involving a block of clay, just because of how weird and dumb it was. But apart from that, and some of the story beats, my memory is gone. I have no idea what I'm in for here, whether I'm going to get stuck immediately again, or whether I'll be able to figure it out now that I'm a little bit older and a little bit wiser. I have not played Gabriel Knight 2 or Gabriel Knight 3. Those are going to be blind playthroughs. I have looked at them very briefly. This one is your traditional point and click. Gabriel Knight 2 also looks like a point and click, but it's basically an interactive movie. It was done with FMV, so that one could be very interesting. And Gabriel Knight 3 looks like it borrowed the engine from King's Quest 8 Mask of Eternity. At the time of recording this, I did manage to get those games working and recording, but we'll see how we go when we start playing them, whether we have any difficulty or not. I'm also going to play through the 25th anniversary edition of this, immediately after finishing this playthrough. I did boot that up very quickly, and I realised that if I started with that game, you would probably shoot me, so I'm going to start with the original, and then we'll play through the remake or the remaster or whatever it is. I don't know what it is because I have not played it. This is definitely one of those series I've been meaning to play for a very long time. I just haven't found the time to do it until now. There's some good actors here. Sierra spared no expense. Day 1. I dreamt of blood upon the shore, of eyes that spoke of sin. The lake was smooth and deep and black, as was her scented skin.
I bet. Just a minute. It lives, I see. Do you want to speak with Lolita? I'm sorry, but Gabriel is allowed. Oh, I mean, he's out. Yeah, if he ever comes back, I'll tell him. You know, you could do better. I know I don't know you, but you could do better. Sure. Bye-bye.
You're saying that directly in front of me, dude.
Good morning. The phone's been ringing off the hook all morning. Let me know when you want your messages.
Yeah.
Gee, you're lively. Did you have another nightmare last night?
Sort of.
Mm-hmm. I told you it's that voodoo book you're researching. That stuff can seriously screw up your karma.
I'm sure that's it. Maybe I should write a horror novel on passive resistance instead.
So don't sleep. It's your body. Anyway, your handheld tape recorder came today.
Really? Great.
I can't wait to see what human rights you violate with this one.
I can't wait to violate them. For example, if you would just let me...
Ugh.
And I located some local voodoo references for you. Dixieland Drugstore and the Historical Museum of Voodoo. Both are right here in French Quarter.
How would I ever manage without you?
You? Give me a break. The devil himself couldn't change you.
Well, if the devil had great legs, perhaps, like yours.
And a riveting personality, I'm sure. Well, if you need any more research done, just ask. It's not as though we're swamped with customers.
We're not swamped with customers, and yet the phone is being ringing off the hook. Alright, Gabriel is clearly a bit of a womanizer. Unfortunately, the manual doesn't have a lot of information as to the backstory of this game. So, unlike the previous Zero games that I've played, this one has got 8 icons that I can already tell the operate icon is going to trip me up. We can walk, we can look, we have a specific interrogation button, which is a question mark, or we've got the exclamation points, which is a generic talk. We have separate options for pick up and open and operate and move, and that's definitely going to screw me up because normally those would all be on one option. We've also got inventory and recorder, which scares me a little bit, but I'm sure we'll figure it out at some point. I think I can muddle my way through the rest of this, although the inventory's also got some icons on the right hand side there, which does also scare me a bit. And if we keep scrolling down, it talks about interrogation, which is basically just talking to people. Apparently we get records of who we speak to, we get tapes with everyone here. We can replay conversations apparently. And then it starts talking about voodoo code and drum codes, and you know what, at that point I don't really want to look at that just yet. So I do have vague memories of that. I definitely have a memory of the voodoo code and the gravestone, but that's about all I remember about this game. But no, there's nothing about who Gabriel is, what his goal is, or anything else. All we guess is what we've seen in game, which is that apparently he lives in a bookstore and he treats Grace, I think her name is, with, yeah, I won't finish that sentence, but I don't agree with what you're doing, Gabriel. Let it be known. So another thing that I need to say before we get going is that I'm playing the Windows version of this, and I'll do some cutting here because I'll need to do some separate recordings. But you can see that certain things here, like this briefcase and this stapler and this magnifying glass, they are significantly higher res than the DOS version. And I've been umming and ahhing about this. I don't know which is the best to play, if indeed there is a best version. But given that I had a hard time playing this when I was much, much younger, I think I will stick with the Windows version, just because it may help me get through this game a bit. I don't know. Is that a good call or not? No idea. At least I'm not starting with the 25th anniversary edition. Alright, so we are in a bookstore.
Handsome, isn't he?
I don't know. Handsome maybe, but I don't agree with some of the stuff coming out of his mouth.
Cute gargoyle, eh?
It's too low res for me to say whether that's cute or not.
St. George Books could use some serious renovation, but Gabriel likes to think that the place has character.
We're in St. George's Books,
St. George Books.
and it's using the apostrophe correctly. Good stuff.
Old medical reference texts are stored on an upper shelf. Real old. St. George, 3 snakes in a skull. Gabriel's father painted it.
What a wacky offbeat kind of guy Daddy was.
Maybe we'll learn more about him as the game progresses. I don't remember if that's a thing or not.
Don't mind if I do.
Do what?
Oh, nothing.
I just want to find out who she is.
Don't mind.
Do what?
Grace's chair. Gabriel had occasion to envy it.
Ugh, he's a bit of a creep, I can see that already.
The book rack contains cookbooks, true crime, and puzzle books. An inspired combination.
Oh my god, there's going to be so much narration here.
There's a pair of tweezers on the counter. Grace uses them for book repair work.
And a magnifying glass?
The magnifying glass is a handy item for reading old manuscripts or the fine print on Gabriel's lease.
Can I pick those up? Oh my god. So, walk is here, and just right-clicking through these. Oh, I can't even see that order. So, it's walk, pick up, open, look. Clicking the right mouse button is cycling this one, this one, this one, and then this one. Normally you'd expect it to go left to right like a normal person, but... oh my god, that's terrible.
I'm gonna take the tweezers for a bit.
Good. You're beginning to look a little scruffy.
Just trying to make you feel at home. Mind if I borrow the magnifying glass?
No, Sherlock. Just bring it back when we get the next estate shipment.
No problem.
Okay, we have some items. Yeah, those are much higher res than they are in the DOS version.
The tweezers from the bookshop are an old stainless steel pair that Gabriel's had forever. The magnifying glass is an expensive one with an inlaid jade handle, an heirloom from Gabriel's grandfather.
His father painted that painting, and now we've got a magnifying glass from the grandfather. So I assume these are read and manipulate or open.
There's nothing written on the magnifying glass. That item cannot be read. The magnifying glass doesn't open. That object does not open.
Yeah, okay. Let's keep looking around.
The books on the table have been chosen for their special appeal. Recent fiction by the biggies. In other words, nothing written by Gabriel.
Gabriel is a writer. It mentioned that it was doing research on a voodoo book, and we have two places, Dixieland Drug Something, I was writing in haste, and a historical museum.
The table provides a comfort center for customers' coffee, today's paper, and the most recent best-selling paperback. Unfortunately, few customers come in to enjoy it.
And yet the phone's been ringing off the hook this morning. Why?
Saint George, the books. Today's newspaper is on the counter. Blessed caffeine. Blessed. Saint George. Saint.
Right, let's grab that.
Gabriel cannot see a way to use that.
Fine, I've got to pick up the paper, even though I don't think I can hang on to it. We're not actually picking it up. Well, we are picking it up, but only temporarily.
Times-Picayune, dated June 18, 1993. The front page has an article about the voodoo murders. The article says that the victims are all identified as members of the underworld. The general public of New Orleans is in no danger. Police claim the so-called voodoo trappings found at the crime scenes are fake, a scare tactic, and that the murders are not associated with any genuine practitioners. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius horoscope for the day. Potential storms ahead. Proceed with caution, and do not get involved with anything new at this time.
Right.
That sounds ominous. Now drink some more coffee.
My kidney's already floating, thanks.
Right, we need to find somewhere to urinate. So there's a bunch of murders going on in New Orleans, the voodoo murders. The police have investigated the scenes presumably, looked at the stuff and said, nah, this is all fake.
The books on that top shelf include mysteries and other pulp novels from the 50s and 60s.
Is Gabriel writing a book about it because he's inspired by these recent murders, or is this just a hell of a coincidence?
Gabriel plans to turn the balcony into a schmaltzy cafe, if he ever gets the cash.
Do we have stairs in here?
The ladder provides access to the uppermost shelves of the bookcase.
I don't see any way to actually get to that balcony.
Under the window are reference books, dictionaries, foreign language dictionaries, quotation books, and others. Gabriel borrows them often when he's writing.
This is his bookstore, so surely he can do that.
Under the window, the windows of St. George Books overlook Bourbon Street.
Oh, that one's been cut off.
The windows of St. George Books overlook Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street. Yeah, we saw Bourbon Street in the intro somewhere.
St. George Books. Dramatic, isn't it? Gabriel didn't eat for 3 weeks after splurging on that coat. He has a thing for black leather.
No judging, narrator.
Grace's coat is a simple but classic trench coat. Gabriel hates people with good taste.
And yes, you're clearly trying to get into her pants. Weird.
The top shelf contains a set of German books that once belonged to Gabriel's grandfather.
Yeah, I do know we're going to go to Germany towards the end of this game. Spoilers. And I did actually want to start this series by saying, Herzlich willkommen, ich heiße Randa Matschibus, and that's all the German that I know. Also, I can't speak German for crap, but I figured that most people would run off if I did that.
The top shelf contained books on animals, including snakes and other reptiles.
We saw a snake in the dream.
That shelf contains historical references, biographies of kings and queens, that sort of thing. That shelf holds used copies of the Dime Stripe series, secrets of unsolved ancient UFO mysteries and such. They just leap out the door.
That's gotta be sarcasm.
St. George.
Try to look at this rug, which really ties the room together.
That shelf. The ladder.
I don't think I can see what's behind the ladder here.
The books on the desk all need repair work. The curtain doesn't provide much privacy, but Gabriel's rarely in his bedroom during shop hours anyway.
That's our bedroom. So we live here and Grace comes in every morning to work here.
Grace keeps her art supplies here.
That's too high res to not be important. Can I pick that up?
Gabriel wouldn't dare touch Grace's oil paints.
That's a no. What else have we got?
The books. Grace likes the little banker's lamp. She has the soul of an accountant.
That looks like a stapler.
It's an ashtray.
Never mind, it's an ashtray.
Gabriel looks at the cash register, checking for cobwebs.
That looks like a stapler to me, a green stapler.
The desk drawers mostly stick. The top of the desk is Grace's private domain. Grace likes the little bank.
Alright, can I manipulate any of this stuff?
Wishful thinking. Gabriel doesn't even want to know what Grace keeps in those drawers.
You live here, but you don't know what's in those drawers. That's... I mean, yeah, okay, maybe we're respecting her privacy, but...
Gabriel...
That's curious.
There is nothing to operate there. Gabriel cannot see a way to use that.
Can I pick up the ashtray?
Gabriel doesn't need the ashtray.
I'll check out the bookshelves later. Let's have a chat to Grace.
So, what's new, Grace?
Your use of mathematics, for one thing. These books are unbelievable.
What can I say? I refuse to be bound by rules.
The strap marks on your bedpost speak otherwise.
Dang! No comments.
Did I ever tell you that you're actually quite attractive?
Be still, my heart.
Had any customers lately?
No, but I'm sure you have.
So hang on, is this his shop or her shop? The way the narrator was describing it sounded like his shop and he lives here, and then Grace comes in as his assistant or co-worker or something else.
You know, you really should get out more.
But then who'd take care of St. George's?
Or me.
Exactly.
Yeah, these two have an interesting relationship.
Oh, done anything interesting
Speaking
lately?
of,
By your definition? No. I prefer it that way.
I assume his definition is very sordid.
Keep 'em busy?
Not really. If you need any research done, let me know.
Did I ever tell you?
Be
Had any...
No, but I'm sure you have.
Yeah, I think we can read a lot into that. Oh boy. So Gabriel's a writer and kind of sounds like a playboy. Can we interrogate you, Grace?
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Alright, so we're going to be here a while. I mean, we haven't even left the first room yet, and we're not going to leave for quite some time. So some of these subjects are in blue, some of them are in red. I'm just going to switch to the manual very quickly. I'm just curious as to why some of them are different colours. Global topics. Global topics are at the top of the list and are displayed in blue. Global topics are the same for each character that you interrogate. In the beginning of the game, you will have 3 global topics. That's what we just saw. You will gain more global topics as the gameplay progresses and Gabriel learns new things. Subject topics are at the bottom of the list and appear in character-specific colours. These topics are unique for each character and may also change as Gabriel learns new things. Okay, that makes sense. As always, please ignore the audio cut there. So these are global topics. We can ask everyone about voodoo, voodoo murders and New Orleans, and we can ask Grace about herself, messages and request research. Let's start at the top.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I didn't know much of anything about it until you started researching it for your book. Now I know that it's active in the city. There's that shop and museum. It can clearly be dangerous in the wrong hands. You should be careful investigating it.
The Historical Museum of Voodoo or something, and the Dixieland Drugstore.
Do you know anything else about voodoo?
I've told you all I know. Sorry I can't be more help.
This is an interrogation, Grace.
Do you know anything else?
I've told you
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
just what I read in the paper, same as you.
But tell me, I'm the player, tell me about them.
What do you know about...
You won't get far questioning me about it, Sherlock.
Damn it.
What do you know about...
You won't get...
All we know is that there's a bunch of murders mentioned in the paper called the voodoo murders, and the police reckon it's not actual voodoo.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Well, I've only been here 2 months, but I love it. It's so much more alive than any place I've been. It feels like anything's possible here.
Such as getting murdered by voodoo practitioners?
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
You're the native, don't ask me.
Yeah, I thought she was going to say something like that.
You're the...
He lives here after all. Well, I assume he lives here and that we've not just flown in ourselves. Tell me about yourself, Grace.
Tell me about yourself, Grace.
Yeah, right, Knight.
I mean it.
What do you want to know?
Oh, God. I feel we have to ask all of these, but that first one is a terrible option, as is the 4th one.
How come we haven't gone out yet?
I'm still waiting around for that lobotomy. As soon as I get it, I'll let you know.
Great response.
How do you like working at St. George's Books?
Well, it's not exactly a huge intellectual challenge. Although the math in your record books could confuse Einstein. Still, I love old books, and it's a nice way to pay the bills while explore the city for a summer. If you ever pay me, that is.
Yeah, okay, it's his shop. She's just working here as our co-worker, assistant, whatever else.
What do you do after work?
Well, I either go to my oil painting class or my Tai Chi. You know that.
You know, you can go overboard with this improving yourself stuff. You don't want to alienate us mere mortals.
I suppose I should just allow my mind and body to atrophy.
Works for me.
Once again, I said this during King's Quest 6 and Police Quest 3, this is good writing.
How old are you?
Old enough to know about men like you.
Just tell me anything at all.
I just got my master's in history and classics. My folks wanted me to go on right away for my PhD, but 18 years of school was enough. I needed a break.
Just tell me.
I came to New Orleans because I'd read so much about it and I thought, spending a few months here would clear my head. I've always wanted to do something really adventurous, Something real life. I'm sick of libraries and lecture halls.
Is this really it though? Working in what looks like a dead-end store with a guy who's very handsome but also kind of a creep.
Just tell me anything at all.
My folks are traditional Japanese. I don't even remember Japan myself. I was 3 when we came to the States.
Where were you before this?
I've been studying Tai Chi for 10 years. It's a very spiritual discipline. I'm sure discipline of any sort isn't something that would appeal to you, Gabriel.
The bedposts say otherwise.
Just tell.
My folks want me to get married to a boy back east. Mark Kobayashi. His parents are traditional Japanese too. I might eventually, but right now...
Just writing that name. Mark Kobayashi.
Just tell me.
I just got my master's.
I don't think that's important, and I think we can replay the conversation. We'll find out in just a sec. I'm just writing that down anyway.
My folks want... I came to New... My folks want... I've been studying... I came to...
I assume what's happening is we go through the conversation once, and then we can get random responses.
Nothing, I guess. Never mind.
Suit yourself.
Messages.
Do you have messages for me?
Dana called, and Susie left a message about a lawsuit.
Toss 'em.
Okie dokie. There's more when you want 'em.
Making notes.
Do you have more messages for me?
Your grandmother called.
I keep meaning to get over there. What did she say? Did she sound good?
She sounded great, and we had a nice little chat about you.
Uh-oh.
Grace.
Don't worry. I didn't go into detail about your cardinal sins. Not that anything about you could surprise her. She adores you anyway.
She's my girl.
But she said to remind you to stop by and go through your father's things.
Okay.
Alright, so we have an objective. We need to go to our grandmother's place and go through our father's things.
Do you have more messages for me?
Here's a strange one. You got a call from someone named Wolfgang Ritter? He said he was calling from Germany. He told me it was urgent, maybe you should give him a call.
Call Germany, like hell. If it's really important, he'll call back.
Well, fine. Let's just hope he's not with the German lottery for pitiful American authors.
I wonder how much that would cost back in the 90s. It's free today, but back in the 90s, it would have cost significantly more.
Do you have more messages for me?
Your friend Detective Mosley called. Talkative, isn't he?
Especially with you. What do you want?
He left an interesting message. He told me to tell you that his mother's maiden name is Humphrey. Oh, that's Humphrey.
Fascinating.
And that he left some photos for you at the station. At the front desk.
It's about time.
Gabriel. Those photos wouldn't have anything to do with the voodoo murders, would they?
Now, why would you say something like that?
That's a yes.
Because I know you. You're getting privileged information, aren't you? Did you tell him you'd put him in your new voodoo book?
A writer has certain obligation to his readers, you know.
Gabriel, you know you'll never put him in your book. Your main character is a female orthodontist. You're gonna be reincarnated as a pit bull if you keep screwing with your karma.
As long as it's a male pit bull with a really big...
Jesus.
That's enough. Thanks. Anyway, that's all the messages. Thank God.
What was that Humphrey thing? Was that more sarcasm? Or something else? Don't know.
Do you have more messages for me?
I've given everything to you.
That's everything.
Do you have...
I've made some notes during that, but again, I think I can review this.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
Turns out I can't think of anything here.
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Alright, Grace, thank you for the chat. So if I go in here, we're going to have a maximum of 16 characters that we can speak to.
Do you have messages for me? Do you have more? Do you have more messages?
Here's a... He told me...
Called.
Well,
Do you have more?
your friend
Especially.
He left an interesting message.
Oh. I can't pause during that, I have
Do
to
you
just
have
let it play out.
messages Do you have more?
Your grandma.
I keep meaning to get over there. What does she say? Great.
Don't worry.
She's...
But she said to remind you to stop by and go through your father's things.
Stop by and go through our father's things. Maybe we'll do that first.
You have...
Here's a strange one. He told me it was urgent, maybe...
Called Jer...
Well,
Do you have more messages for me?
Wolfgang Ritter in Germany called us and said it was urgent, and then Mosley called as well.
your friend Detective Mosley called. Talkative, isn't he?
Especially...
He left an interesting message. He
His
told me to
mother's
tell you that
maiden
his
name
mother's
is
maiden
Humphrey.
name is Humphrey.
Fascinating.
That sounds like sarcasm. I assume these two know each other well, especially as they're talking about photos.
And that he left some photos for you at the station. At the front desk.
That's gotta be sarcasm, surely. Or a code phrase of some sort, I don't know. Alright, can I check out these books? Can I pick up any of these books?
Gabriel selects a volume of German poetry that he always found strangely compelling.
Drei Drachen. Drei Drachen kriechen in meinen Schlaf. Die Ziele wollen sie lebendig zum Fraß. Feurigen Atems, gespaltener Zunge, genießen sie jedes Mal.
That's nice. Kinda creepy, though. Who's the author?
Heinz Ritter. I'm not sure what it says, but I get the feeling the guy was one sick puppy.
So firstly, I understand some of those words, like drei and Yiddish, but I don't understand the rest.
Gabriel's had all those books in the bathroom and doesn't care to read them again.
Heinz Ritter though, any relation to Wolfgang?
Gab...
Drei Drachen. Drei Drachen.
Three something in my... I
Die
don't know.
Ziele wollen sie lebendig zum Fraß. Feurigen Atems, gespaltener Zunge, genießen sie jedes Mal.
Every something, I don't know. My German is not that good.
Gabriel...
Not that one.
Drei...
Anything else around here?
Gabriel...
All those books are in the bathroom.
Gabriel's...
All those books have been in the bathroom and now we're selling them. Something seems very wrong about that.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Let's see, Mittag means midday, noon.
That's actually something I knew.
Spiel means game. Interesting.
I also knew that.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English...
Himmel means heaven. Uh-huh. Dry means three.
Yep, three somethings. What's a Drachen?
Gabriel...
Possession means possessed. That's handy to know.
Am I going to be quizzed on this later?
Drachen means dragons. I wonder if Mosley would know he was being insulted if I called him Drachenbread.
So it talks about three dragons in that poem.
Gab...
Let's see.
Alright, so we're looping now.
Himmel. Dra...
Gabriel pulls down a book on snakes.
Snakes are legless reptiles. Some snakes kill their prey with poison, some by constriction. A snake smells by tasting the air with its forked tongue. The smells are passed back to a sense organ in the mouth. Constrictor snakes, however, sense their prey by vibration.
Did you know that medieval legends about dragons and giant worms are actually based on snakes? You know, dragons, devils, sea monsters, well, they've always been associated with snakes.
Grace, get alive.
Uncalled for, Gabriel. That was actually quite interesting.
Gabriel,
Snakes are legless reptiles.
Talks about how they kill,
A snake smells by
how it
tasting
tastes
the
the
air
air,
with its forked tongue.
how it smells,
The smell. Constrictor snakes, however.
and others use vibration. Okay, we got points for that.
the history books on that shelf don't interest Gabriel at the moment.
I feel what Grace was saying there was actually very important, but we cut her off. Alright, half an hour in and I've not left the first screen. Well, let's go through here. Hopefully this is a room with not much stuff in it, so I can look at everything and quickly leave. Oh god.
Gabriel's bedroom is also his office, his studio, and library.
We live here, in the back of the bookstore. Where do I even start?
Gabriel likes a subdued lighting effect in his studio. Gabriel's the carpet was Grand's. She gave it to Gabriel to cheer the place up.
Not really feeling that rug. The rug outside? Yes. This one? No. So just scanning this very quickly, I don't see many high-res assets around here, unlike what we saw in the previous room.
It's Gabriel's bed, unmade as usual.
And because of the way art works in old video games, I cannot make the bed.
The dresser holds a meager supply of underwear and 38 pairs of mismatched socks.
Hey, it's my drawer.
There's a flashlight on the dresser. This building's wiring leaves a lot to be desired.
I'd be surprised if I can pick that up.
Gabriel likes a poster on the wall advertises Mardi Gras, the biggest party of the year in New Orleans. Gabriel's robe hangs on the wall. It's a bit hot for it in June, though.
Let's try picking some of that stuff up.
No thanks. I don't have time to relax.
I can grab the flashlight. Wow.
I might need a flashlight.
We all need a flashlight.
Jeans and t-shirts. Jeans.
There's nothing in the wardrobe.
Gabriel. A little cold bubbly and brie cheese is about all Gabriel's fridge ever has in it. Bills from last Christmas gather dust on the door.
So dramatic.
The refrigerator is already functioning.
Gabriel, shut the refrigerator, please. I could smell it from here.
Women.
Don't even start, Gabriel.
It's Gabriel's bathroom.
I really got to get around to cleaning up in there.
Is there no door there? Don't mind that little cut there. I accidentally moved the window. I should be running this in full screen, but I'm not.
The medicine cabinet contains a few old prescriptions, personal hygiene stuff, and lots of hair products, including some hair gel.
Alright, so we can pick that up very clearly. Let's grab that.
I'll take this hair gel. You never know when you'll need a touch-up.
I don't know, I was thinking maybe we could use that in an explosive later, perhaps. I don't recall if that's a thing or not.
I don't need to, thanks. I don't need
You said your kidneys were floating earlier, dude.
The curtain door leads to the bookshop proper.
What do we have on the left-hand side of the room?
Several dozen books, including a few of Gabriel's novels, occupy the shelves above his desk.
Okay, so he has written a couple of books already. Good to know.
Several dozen books, several, Gabriel's, several, Gabriel's reference books occupy a space near his typewriter. Gabriel likes a subdued. The desk phone is cheap, but functional.
Can I use that phone?
An office chair waits for Gabriel to sit down and write something.
Maybe that's what we should do for the entirety of day one. Sit down on this chair and do our job.
Gabriel's desk has been gathering dust since his last novel. The typewriter is beginning to accumulate cobwebs.
Should I feel guilty? Nah.
I think you should, actually.
Gabriel, the wastebasket overflows with crumpled pages of mediocre glory. A small trunk serves as a table for the radio. Gabriel's mini stereo isn't exactly high fidelity. Then again, neither is he.
I imagine I can't turn that on because Grace will get upset.
Mardi Gras mementos left by some female or other. Mardi Gras.
Alright, can I do anything here? I can use the phone. Oh boy, we're going to get some phone numbers as the game progresses very clearly.
The number you have dialed has been disconnected.
Let's try the typewriter.
Writer's block.
Nothing doing. The radio?
You're listening to KLEB in New Orleans, where we play the best music 24 hours a day. Don't that night?
Grace is not calling out. Okay.
That doesn't work that way. Gabriel already knows what's in the trunk, and he doesn't want it.
But we will never know.
There's nothing interesting in there. There's nothing interesting.
Right, to use the desk. Was there anything else here? Maybe the books? The reference books?
I don't need them right now.
Gabriel doesn't need anything from the bookshelf. The beads wouldn't be much help.
I don't think putting on a Mardi Gras mask right now would help.
Yeah, the perspective here looks really weird. Here's me thinking this is a massive mask, which is like our size. But no, I can see there's a shelf here.
You're listening to KLEB in New Orleans, where we play the best music 24 hours a day. Don't that night?
Thank you, sir. There's a shelf here, and we've basically got our chin on the shelf, and we're looking out as someone standing on the shelf or someone just looking over the shelf. It's a weird perspective.
Gabriel might as well leave that here.
Can I take one of the 38 pairs of socks?
There is no... There is...
What about jeans and whatever they were? Jeans and shirts.
All my clothes look the same, so why change them?
Some of them start to smell after a while, Gabriel.
Gabriel might...
All my clothes...
There's nothing Gabriel needs from that part of the bathroom. Gabriel might as well...
If I threw that stuff away, it weren't worth reading.
Fair.
No thanks. I don't have time to relax.
Is there anything in that robe,
It's
though?
frightening. It's terrifying. Don't miss. Run for your life. Now playing at the St. Antoine Theater.
Can we see that?
No thanks. No thanks.
Don't know. Oh, we don't have time to relax, but we can use the bed.
And giant
It's no use. I can't sleep.
Damn it, Gabriel. I might spend a moment or two here. Can I speed this up? I can. Might spend a moment or two here and just listen to the radio and get that one back and cuss it in. I'll be back shortly.
It's frightening. It's terrible.
Hi, this is Ray Bob Gelmy saying come on down to Gelmy Auto Center for the best deals in new and used transportation. You'll be glad you did.
I hope this is nothing. That took 4 prompts of cycling to get that, and that's still not what I'm looking for. We could be here a while.
Do you have men problems? Someone put a hex on you? Call Sister Cross through the power of love and Lord Jesus Christ. She can fix what's ailing you.
I don't even know what to make of that. Do I just say America and shake my head, or something else? Either way, I'm uncomfortable.
The Creole Grand Dames will hold their annual Gardenia Festival, and these is coming Tuesday at the Sons of Burgundy Hall. Admission is free.
3 new things in a row. Still haven't seen that other message.
At Giant Discount Bookstore, we discount every title 50%. When you see our selection and prices, you will never want to shop with those little guys again.
That took 3 more prompts, and I'm glad I got that because that's actually kind of important given that we run a bookstore. Someone's trying to put us out of business with their deep discounts. Alright, Grace. I think I'm going to leave you alone for a bit.
So, what's new, Grace?
Your use of mathematics for
What can I say?
the strap.
We've seen that. Alright. It's only 45 minutes into this video, roughly. Maybe less once I do the cutting. Let's get out of here.
I'll be back later.
Don't hurry back on my account.
Damn. It's clear they have a good relationship, but they are tearing shreds off each other at the moment. I've never been to New Orleans, so I don't know if this is an accurate map or not. That symbol there, the guy in a suit of armor with the... what is that, a halberd? I'm going to say that's a halberd. That is our bookshop. That is clearly the police station. Napoleon House. Jackson Square Overlook. Jackson Square. St. Louis Cathedral. Historical Voodoo Museum. And the Dixieland Drugstore. These are the 2 places that Grace mentioned. So we've got a cathedral and the square and the lookout, so I assume these 3 are connected. Napoleon House, police station, and we've got a Greater New Orleans map. I don't know whether these individual street names mean anything or not.
Please select a destination icon.
I just clicked there and I was told off by the narrator. Greater New Orleans area map. French Quarter, and that must be our grandmother's place. Grandmother Knight's house. You know what? Family's important. Let's go check her out. Gabriel rides a motorcycle.
Gabriel, I'm so glad you stopped by.
Sorry it's been a while, Grandma.
Not at all. Give us a kiss. Now come and sit down. Tell me how you're doing.
How long has it been?
How you been, Gran?
Just fine, dear. I'm sorry I bothered you at work, but I was hoping you'd get a chance to go through your father's things in the attic.
Don't be silly. You can call me anytime. Are you okay, Gran?
I'm right as rain, boy.
Is there anything you need?
Me? Oh, no. I'm just fine, Gabriel. I have more than enough of everything.
I love how her first question is, how have you been? Tell me what's going on, and we've told her nothing.
Is there anything you need?
Me?
What's new?
I've been working on baby sweaters for the church bazaar. Keeps me busy.
Damn it, I thought it was looping.
What's new, Gran? Are you okay, Gran? Are you? Done anything interesting lately?
I raised you.
Lately, Gran.
Oh, you know me, Gabriel. I always got my nose poked into something.
It must run in the family. Are you?
Granny might get...
You're looking well, Gran.
Thanks, dear.
Granny might get worried if Gabriel started rambling to thin air.
I should have tried that back at the bookshop.
Granny...
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
Can we talk and please ignore the tape recorder? Alright, so we can ask about these global topics.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? What an odd question, Gabriel. Of course, you always were interested in monster movies and all that other weird stuff. You get that from your father and granddad. I don't know anything about it, dear. Of course, it was very big in New Orleans at one time, but you don't hear about it so much these days. Too much else in the world to worry about, I guess.
Once again, I know nothing about American history, so I don't know if voodoo was indeed a big thing in New Orleans in the past couple of centuries.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I don't know what else to tell you, dear.
Other than maybe it was just a generic southern thing.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Oh, Gabriel, nothing. And I don't want to. I sometimes wonder what this world is coming to.
Oh, wait until the 2020s, lady.
What do you know?
Oh, Gabriel.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
New Orleans is very southern. Of course, though, not as much as it used to be when I was a girl. It's gotten much more influenced by the East Coast and that California stuff. Still, it hasn't changed as much as other places, I reckon. We've always been happy here.
What can you tell?
My goodness, boy. You've lived here all your life just like me. I can't tell you much that you don't already know.
What?
My...
Tell me about yourself.
Me? Oh, surely you have something more interesting to talk about.
Oh, come on, Gran.
All right, dear. What do you want to hear?
I'm surprised we're asking all this, but we're not giving information back. I mean, I understand that's how the video game is designed, but yeah, no.
What do you do all day?
You know how I love to knit and work in my garden? I also take long walks. It's the only way to keep an old body like mine from stiffening up.
You're not old.
Oh, don't be foolish. I'm older than the hills.
Mid-70s, maybe. 80s?
Tell me about before you met Granddaddy.
Well, you know I was born Rebecca Wright. My daddy owned a lot of land outside of town. We grew peas, corn, cotton, all kinds of things. It was a good childhood, but my father was very strict. He didn't much let me out of his sight.
Tell me how you met Granddaddy.
I met Harrison at a church revival. There was a traveling preacher back then, a big fella named Reverend Jim. I even remember his slogan, "Come to me to find your way." Your granddad was sitting right behind me and my girlfriend Alma, and at one point, old Reverend Jim was flinging his hair around with his fire and brimstone antics, and a piece of it, one of those small add-on do's for man, went flying off. I swear, Harrison and I were the only ones that noticed. We both started laughing to beat the band. Everyone looked at us like we were a couple of loonies. It was then I knew that he was for me.
I wonder if I'll be able to draw a family tree at the end of this.
How you feeling these days?
Fit as a fiddle, and don't you worry your head about it.
Just tell me anything at all.
I had your father when I was 22. The doctors told me I couldn't have any more after him, so I'm afraid I spoiled him rotten.
Just...
I never loved any man but your grandfather, and I never will.
Harsh.
Just tell...
I hate to admit it, but I was a jealous little thing when your granddad and I were younger. I loved him so ferociously, and he did attract the eyes of the ladies, whether he wanted to or not.
Just...
I get lonely sometimes, but I have lots of girlfriends in the neighborhood. I call one of them if I'm feeling blue.
And occasionally you call your grandson, and very, very occasionally he might come and visit.
Just tell me.
I wish you'd settle down and give me a great-grandchild.
Oh, Gran. Just,
I had your father.
just,
I never...
Ju-
I hate to... I get lonely. I wish...
just.
I had...
Yeah, we're just looping here.
Oh, no.
All right, dear.
Tell me about our family.
Who would you like to hear about? Your granddad, your father, or your mother?
Okay, never mind, I can draw it right now. Harrison Knight, that is our grandfather.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Your granddad immigrated to America when he was 21. He worked his way through school, met and married me, and we had your father, Philip.
Philip Knight is our father.
Tell me about my father.
Your father was my only child. How we adored him. Philip suffered from terrible nightmares, just like your granddad did. They were 2 peas in a pod.
Have we told Grandma that we're also suffering from terrible nightmares? Where's Margaret?
Tell me about my mother.
Your mother was Margaret Templeton when your father met her. She came from a very wealthy Creole family in New Orleans. She was beautiful and reckless. She was madly in love with your father, of course, but I also think she liked defying her family. Since you're so interested in family history these days, why don't you go by St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 and visit the family tomb? It would be a sweet gesture.
Maybe I will.
Dang. Alright, so our mother's passed on. What about Philip? Are we still in contact with him? Don't know.
You know, you get prettier every time I see you.
Oh, you.
Have you baked any of your incredible molasses pies lately?
No, dear. But you let me know when you want some, and I'll whip up half a dozen.
You've lost weight. Are you courting a new man?
Oh, Gabriel, don't be silly. You know there'll never be anyone but your granddad for me.
Given that she's alone here and mentioned girlfriends, I assume he's passed on.
Your hair looks very pretty today, Gran.
Oh, no, don't say that.
Oh, why, thank you, dear. So does... you've always had such nice, thick hair, Gabriel.
Am I weird for saying that, Chaz? You don't say that someone has very nice hair today. Unless they've really done something to tart themselves up. People always look good, that's what I'm trying to say.
You know, I always tell people that my Gran is the prettiest grand old belle in the city.
Oh, dear. You shouldn't talk so.
You know, you get prettier every time I see you.
Are we looping? Yes, we are.
Have you been...
No.
You...
Oh.
Alright, so we only know 5 compliments. I think if I stand, I'm going to leave automatically. That's just memory.
Gabriel grew up in this room. Just being here make him feel safe. And after about 5 minutes, claustrophobic. On the wall are portraits of Gran and Gramps when they were young. Gabriel's inherited some good-looking genes.
Rebecca and Harrison.
Granny has a way with plants and kids. The double doors lead to Granny's front lawn. Gabriel, Granny's knitting. She whips through that stuff like there was no tomorrow.
That's my Gran. Adorable as always.
You're such a tease.
He clearly knows the right things to say to people.
The sofa has a wan blue chintz pattern that Gabriel remembers fondly. Gabriel, the sofa,
Nothing about the pillows or the rug.
Gabriel, the wood in the bin is southern pine and is probably fossilized by now. Grandmother Knight rarely uses the fireplace these days. Too much of a hassle to clean. Mostly pictures of Gabriel, his dad, and Harrison Knight.
I think the most interesting thing we've learned here is that our mother is dead. We've probably got a new destination on the map. And our father and our grandfather also suffered nightmares.
Mostly pictures. Most fresh carnations. Granny's favorite. Fresh. Granny likes soft lighting.
It's a very nice animation.
That clock has been in the Wright family, Granny's family, for centuries.
Centuries, okay.
That Gabriel...
Something I don't know is where did the Knight's name come from? Grandma or Grandpa? Don't know.
Gabriel grew up in... The stairs lead up to the attic.
What else can I do here? Can I pick that up?
Steal Granny's knitting? How low can you get?
I just want to pick it up to inspect it, just like, you know, the daily paper.
Gabriel doesn't knit. Okay. So Gran did teach him once, but he hasn't done it in years.
We know how to stab people with needles if we need it, got us.
Gabriel doesn't need to mess with the fireplace. That doesn't work. Gabriel doesn't want to crowd Granny. He prefers the chair.
Alright.
Granny likes the lamps lit. Granny doesn't like anyone messing with her clock, including Gabriel. Gabriel cannot...
Let me just take a look at the stuff I've picked up out of the studio.
The jar contains frou-frou hair gel. Gabriel doesn't want to open that jar until he's ready to use the hair gel. It will get all over everything.
Fair enough.
Believe it or not, the flashlight does not open. It's a disposable.
That's terrible for the environment. I've never seen a flashlight that is disposable, with non-replaceable batteries.
Gabriel got the flashlight free in the mail when he ordered a magazine subscription. It works though. At the moment.
Jeez. I can walk around here. Alright, so I've put this off long enough. Let's go and take a look in the attic.
I'm going to go up to the attic, Gran.
Be careful of the dust.